getting the mix right. Actually, I never thought I'd see the moment when Jeremy Tapp and myself would share something with Rory McIlroy. Yesterday, Simon King and Jeremy Tapp are brought to you by Brief Your Market and Homeflow. We have sponsors. Fantastic. Going on from there, what I'd like to talk about is getting the mix right. The mix as in the marketing mix. Okay. We've seen over the last few decades a change in the way that consumers accept and take marketing. I've got a timeline there, but I won't go through it, won't bore you, but basically that's just really our evolution as consumers. From the days of mass marketing back in the 70s to today, where it's all about marketing to the mass market of one. And that's been driven by changes in things, for example, like the internet that's taken place in that period of time, and the way that we get information. How many of us now go and research something deeply before we go and approach someone about buying a product or service? And the reason we can do that is because today we have the means of doing it, which is generally the internet. Looking at great examples of that, of course, if you look at the evolution of the last 12 months of Zoopla and Rightmove. For example, Zoopla led, at the end of last year, the marketplace of marketing directly with information to the consumer, house values, information about the localities and so forth. Over the last 12 months, you can see how Rightmove have responded, and now they also offer that same information. So both are driving forward that agenda of marketing to the individual rather than to just a mass market of everybody. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is the mass market to the market of one. As David mentioned, we're going to break into two halves. I'm going to cover the first bit, which I'm going to look at things like the offline stuff, things like collateral, PR, and direct marketing, and more importantly, direct targeted marketing, because again, it's no good mass marketing and just blurting out a load of information to everybody. You can't stand in the middle of the pub and say, I'm an estate agent, and everybody will respond with the same kind of response. You have to tailor your response to the people that you want to talk to. Now, we've already learned how we can do that online, and you may have experienced that yourself in many ways. But actually, what's really interesting now is the way that we can do that offline. Okay, how we can direct market to a particular type of people that we want to talk to. Jeremy will be looking at the online experience, how online has become personalised as well, and how it's become incredibly important to not see your online presence again just a way of blurting a load of information to a whole audience, but being very specific about the type of information you want to pass to the right type of consumer that you want to be talking to, your customers. The theme, as you can see, is win, sell, and build your brand. Because actually, isn't that the essential thing of any business? We've got to win new business, we've got to sell to generate the revenue within our business, and we've also got to build our brand and profile so that people know who we are and invest in that, because that's critical for our business. The one thing that we're not covering today, and it's actually the most essential thing with every business, and it's no different with Move With Us or indeed your offices, and that's people. We are a people business, all of us. So there is a little person on that. I'm not going to cover it, but they are actually the most essential part of any mix of this equation. Okay? Before we go on to talk about the different marketing techniques, I wanted to just share with you something that we're working on at the moment, which is our new agent extranet. It's how we are looking to personalise our experience with you. How we're looking to share information with you so that you can use that within your own marketplaces, and also see the size of the opportunity that we're working on together. If we go back in time and look at what was the ethos of Move With Us, why does Move With Us exist? Well, it's simply that we believe in independent estate agency, that independent estate agents are the best people placed in the marketplace today. What we could do is help independent estate agents lever on the opportunity in their offices, be that through work we're doing with the developers, be it through other instruction tools that we work on, our marketing tools that are available to you, be it through our conveyancing service. Those things can help you within your offices and also help you win local market share, which is why we're here today. The extranet, we actually call it there the personal portal, but it's the extranet, shares information, for example, on every single property transaction that we're working on together, every conveyancing transaction we're working on together, so you can just click in and see exactly what's going on at any one time. We also look a little bit deeper and say, well, actually, let's look at, for example, here's a property. Would it be useful to share the information on how your office is performing, competing against other offices? Because in many instances, of course, there'll be more than one office instructed on a property. So would it help you to know, for example, how your viewing numbers are compared with your competitors? How your offer numbers are compared with your competitors? We're not going to in-depth data, but it's just the data that we believe will help you understand what's happening in the marketplace. And you can use it to your benefit in your offices. Okay? A lot of the conversations we've had so far have been around this data thing, haven't they? Ben, myself, we've talked about data. And data is just a whole bunch of numbers. And what we try and do is help make sense of those numbers so that you can use them back in your offices to the benefit of your businesses. If we go and look at the reporting suite we're looking to put together for you next, this is where, again, we're sharing more information about, well, this is the size of the opportunity. These are how many properties were instructed into your offices. But these are the ones that you sold, and these are the ones that were sold by your competitors. How do they compare? Conveyancing. These are the referrals that come in to move with us. But out of those referrals, how many actually convert into business? And how big is the opportunity left that together we can go and capitalise on? What does good look like? And how do we make things better? That's what we're looking at here. Detail goes right into, excuse me, I just must grab a drink. For example, I'm going to walk over this way. In simple terms, the big green box is the size of the opportunity. The smaller green box is the opportunity is the average opportunity, so you can see compared with other agents of similar size to you, how they perform. And then the coloured lines are your performance. So you can see exactly what's going on. And again here you can see how we're sharing, again, full information. This is how big the opportunity is. This is how much you're capturing now. Can we together help you capture more of it? And if we can, how do we achieve that? So it's just, we want to share and personalise more information with you. Sadly also, you end up with pictures of me on some of the pages. Every page will have the person within Move With Us that's relevant to help you achieve what you need to achieve what you want to achieve. Again, we want to personalise it. We want to be able to see who you're dealing with, pick the phone up and be able to speak to them. Because like you, we're a people business. What I'd like to move on to now is what are we doing around marketing? Within your packs, you'll each find some examples of the latest marketing collateral that we've already shared out with your offices. It's available to you to use, again, for a simple task. Can we help you win more business or sell more services? I've got a couple of examples here. This is the network marketing leaflet. It can be personalised through our new online system with your brand and your telephone number, and the message is really simple. You're the local experts. You're the people that people should be talking to if they want to sell their house. Conveyancing, for example, again, we have a similar kind of leaflet, but again, it's designed about appealing to the consumer you're talking to and saying, this is why you want to choose our services. Everything that I'm showing you to you now is available through our online systems, and you can personalise it with your contact details, your branding, it's your collateral. We just want to help you capture that audience. Window cards, for example. Also available, hopefully a load of you have seen these. These are the market reviews. We do one for market review on residential property, and then the lettings index. Now, we set out to do those a few years ago, purely around how do we generate press interest? Because what we needed to do for the partner network brand was to cut through the noise and make sure that we're seen as an industry voice together, all of the people in this room today. And the way we did that was by getting information, again, data, compiling it into a review that made sense to journalists that we could go out there and get published. Now, it has two jobs. Number one is again, it helps you, if you want to use it as a listing tool, you can brand it yourself, so you can have it with your details on it, your brand on it, your telephone numbers, your contact details on it. And again, it can be used to establish your credibility with a vendor. What are you doing different from your competitors? How do you do things differently from what they're doing today? But also the same information could be used for PR, for press releases. Again, to get your brand and your name out into your local marketplace, so they can see that you are the experts in property. Okay. Hopefully within your packs, you'll see an example of this, which again, just shows you all the collateral that's available to you. Moving on. PR, does it work? We supply within the marketing suite a whole load of PR stories for you. They're written around either personal interest or they're written around data. Again, there'll be examples in your packs, which I think is something like this. Which would be the example of, well, what do you need to sell a house? The perfect home doesn't always exist, and it talks about, you may have seen it smells and so forth. Do these things work? Do press releases actually work? Do they cut through? This is an example of the press response that we had during August. Using the very tools that we supply out to you guys in the online marketing system, we got the Move With Us Partner Network brand in front of 6.9 million people. Or to put that into context, if we'd have taken a page advert in the Sunday Times, we'd have had to be in the Sunday Times for 2 months to get in front of as many people as we did in that 1 month. And it was all through PR. One of our agents used the same story, and locally, within their region, they got in front of 118,000 consumers. And the great news for them is actually it costs them nothing to do it, because journalists are lazy. If they get a really good PR story, they're going to use it. So PR works. It's there. It's available for you today. All you need to do is to change the contact details to yourself, get it in the local press, and get the benefit. I mentioned earlier about targeted direct marketing. So how about if you knew that Acacia Avenue was the best place for you to get listings? You wanted houses in Acacia Avenue. In Acacia Avenue, it's one of these streets where you have people who are retiring, but you also have older families, or family with older children, who are going to become empty nesters. And you want to talk to those people about getting their house on the market. You don't know who they are, because unless you go and bang on every door and ask them who they are, you're not going to know their personal details. The system we're working on today, and we're looking to release in the end of this year, with the benefit of Experian, we'll be able to tell you exactly who these people are, their demographics, so you can write to them personally, and also the mail pieces that we can send to them are tailored to their needs. Because of course, somebody that's looking to downsize because of an empty nested family may be in a different circumstance to people that may be looking to retire, that are retired and may want to go into another route. So again, this system has been made available to you. We'll be launching at the back quarter of the year. As we do it, of course, we'll let you know. Great news now, guys. I'm now going to hand over to